Okay, we'll call the City Council adjourned regular meeting to order. Roll call.
Mayor Murphy.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Churko.
Here.
Councilmember Doby.
Here.
Councilmember Gross.
Here.
Councilmember Hasselbrink.
Here.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America
and to the
republic for which it stands, one
under God,
God, indivisible,
with liberty
and
for all.
justice.
We probably should do that again, but Mark, are you available for the invocation?
Sure. I did not realize I was giving the invocation until Councilmember Doby let me know, so bear with me. I hope that the community can continue to act together as we continue opening up safely and securely. And I hope everyone keeps in mind, and those who pray for those in the community who are less fortunate, like those without homes, those without family members to help out, those out of work, and especially those directly affected by COVID-19 or the other effects of COVID-19. Thank you to our first responders, essential workers, nurses, doctors, grocery workers, food service and delivery individuals, and anyone else that's out there at risk helping. I hope and pray that we on the City Council continue to do our best for the best interest of the community and to be an example of unity, working together, civil discourse. We as a community, state, and nation will get through this eventually, so long as we continue to work together, follow guidelines for safely interacting, and look out for one another. Thank you.
Thank you. On to oral communications. Wendy, you want to take this over?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. So as listed on our agenda, we've requested that anyone wishing to speak at tonight's meeting, email us ahead of time. We received no written comments, but we did receive 3 requests to speak. Again, I'd like to note the new meeting ID is 65-3-2762. We do have 2 of our callers online. First one is Henry Josephberg. Are you with us?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And the first thing is to stand in solidarity with that invocation that we just heard, to open ourselves up to the people in our community who are less fortunate than many of us are, and to point out that I'd like to extend that into what I believe our work has been going toward, the repeal of ordinance number 2018-03. I sincerely request that the City Council vote today to continue the work commenced on the first reading and complete the rescission. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's have Reverend Poulin on the line. Reverend, can you hear us?
Yes, hello. How is everyone?
Good, thank you.
Great. Thank you for, again, the opportunity to address you. I just want to attest that, see, it seems like there's a little bit of a echo. Are you guys having trouble hearing me?
No, it's fine here.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to, again, commend you for taking action on this matter. I think you can see from the lack of public comments the way there was last 2 years ago, where there was a whole bunch of public comments, largely from folks outside of the community that were very inciting a lot of racial conflict. It provoked a lot of divisions, and yet 2 years later, in the absence of that, we have members of the community expressing a willingness to work together to address concerns, including the financial concerns of the city, And that's really the spirit that we've been trying to encourage all along. And so I would urge you to also follow through to repeal this ordinance. And you know, even during these times where we're faced with the challenge of COVID-19, and where our first responders have such an important role to play with the community, it's a time that it highlights how important it is to have trust between those same police and essential responders and the community, including the immigrant community, the vast majority of whom are not committing any crimes that would require coordination or turning over information to ICE. So there's no reason that immigrants in the community should have fear that those police and first responders would be essentially questioning them on their immigration status. So I think that repealing this ordinance will pave the way to restore relations in this community, to actually make this community safer. And I just want to commit to all of you our willingness to work together and to really make the community better, to encourage volunteering, to encourage the kind of food outreach that we've been doing at our church, to encourage whatever needs you have to get community involved with responding so that we can get through this together as a community. And with that vision laid before you, I yield my time and thank you for taking your leadership on this matter.
Did Mrs. Farrell join us, Wendy?
She has not. Reverend Cole asked to speak on her behalf, and we have one more member trying to join at this moment. We can have just 1 minute to see if he's able to connect.
Okay.
Check it out. Really good information, links to good articles, etc. But we had 591 new cases, which was just a 2% increase. Remember, these are new cases reported. And 32,258 cases now have been positively identified in the county. In the city of LA, that's 345 cases, bringing our total to 15,516.
Mr. Mayor, I don't see anyone else attempting to connect, and I've not received any further written responses.
Okay. So we'll end oral communications. Go to council announcements. Would anybody like to make any council announcements?
I have a quick one. One of our wonderful department secretaries was listening in on our call last week regarding the gnat foolishness, and she had already been in contact with the OC Vector Control, and the gnats are fungus gnats. They're caused by soil moisture. And we've been informed by the vectors and mosquito district that they should die off in the next couple of days as the weather warms up. So.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else? Go on to item number 8, the consent calendar. We have one item on the consent calendar. Anybody want to make any comments before we vote? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call, please.
Give the motion and a second, please.
Oh, I'll make the motion to adopt ordinance 2020-05.
Second.
Second by Tanya. Okay.
The motion by Mayor Murphy, a second by Councilmember Doby for a roll call. Mayor Murphy.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Chirco.
Aye.
Councilmember Doby.
Aye.
Councilmember Gross.
Aye.
Councilmember Hasselbrink.
And I'll repeat, with the threat of being sued into bankruptcy, I reluctantly vote yes.
Well, thank you all. So we will now adjourn to our regular meeting of May the 18th. And just in case you're worried, Wendy's working hard to make sure the 25th we have something to do then also. Thank you all.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.